So yesterday I posted a little clip from stream about Hasan, and I know that a lot of Hasan viewers found my channel recently because of my Destiny video, which I love. I love having you here. It's so nice. But I think they are coming into this bubble, this space, and not understanding what I do here. So then when I make a criticism of Hasan, especially since I used a clip from an H3 Reddit, they're going to think, oh my God, Brittany's falling for the H3 Reddit, like slander of Hasan. Oh my gosh, Hasan. If you want to protect Hasan, that's okay. I'm not here to protect anybody. I'm off protecting people. What I am here to do is observe and digest and discern what to do next. So I made the decision recently, to move my Discord, my Patreon, my YouTube, my platform forward in a more professional and thoughtful manner, starting with myself. Even in that 4-minute clip that I posted about Hasan, I called out myself because I am not exempt, right? Okay, here's the video. I am not exempt from anything. Like, I'm not exempt from using streamer language, right? There are clips of me on the internet saying horrible things, and I regret those deeply. And though at the time we all were like, it's just a joke, it is just a joke that is unprofessional. And I need to come to work and be professional. And I actually think this is something that, in my early 20s, man, I wasn't so worried about being professional. But I'm going to be 40 by the time Trump is done with his next term as president. And I just don't want to carry that into my 40s. And I, maybe like you, am very slow with transition. So I'm going to need a lot of time to scrub this from my vocabulary. And I'm going to make an effort out and proud so you guys can, 1, hold me accountable, and 2, just so you guys know what's going on, because it must feel like such a shift. Like, we have a your mom emoji in our members emoji options. Like, we need to replace that. I can't be talking about your guys' moms, into my 40s. Like, if I wanted to be a comedian, I would have been one. But I decided to be a streamer who talks about philosophy. And honestly, I do want to get a little bit more serious about sort of adulting. Now, I think this sort of is hard for people to digest because they think I'm coming from some prescription place or some judgment place. You do you. Like, you do you, right? I need to do me. And I do think when you're in this sphere, it encourages you to use streamer language. It encourages you to demean people. I don't want to be Jesse Waters from Fox News. Jesse Waters, the adults in the room who are making grape jokes about Kamala Harris. Like, this is not the direction we need to be going in society. I don't care if Trump is president, right? So, when Hasan also engages in that sort of rhetoric, it's not helpful. Now, could Hasan grow and mature over time? Sure. And if he does, I will absolutely subscribe again. But I am not obligated to stay subscribed to somebody who is engaging in that sort of language. Now, some of his fans came on my video and they left really interesting comments that I get it. It's fair, guys. You think I'm just, oh my gosh, I'm like on a hate train and I'm trying to like clout chase off Hasan. You don't know what I'm doing here. And I'm always here to get better. It will take time. I will transition slowly, but I'm not trying to clout farm off Hasan. I'm trying to make it clear what I want for my audience. Okay. And I shouldn't have to like sit there and just be like, oh, it's a grape joke. It's like, I understand. Like, I understand it's a joke. I know it's a joke. Now, one of his fans sent me like a timestamp in the video, which I appreciate. And they're like, you didn't see the full context though. Does it matter when we're talking about the language we're using? Does the context matter when we're talking about eradicating this language from our vocabulary? Okay. Don't get me wrong. I'll still be silly. I'll do a Jordan Peterson voice. Okay. I'll make my little quips, but it won't be to the extent I've been making it. I've made very inappropriate Jordan Peterson jokes using the Jordan Peterson voice, and I need to stop doing that. We're done doing it. I'm going to make appropriate funny jokes. Okay. It's not that jokes have to go away, but I'm at work. Okay. Like, I'm at work and I need to remember that. And I genuinely want to make it a safe enough space to have these conversations. Now, some of the people on my video wrote comments like, hey, I'm a grape victim. And I think like, it's fine. It's a joke. Cool. I love that for you. No judgment. Doesn't change what I want for my future on my channel, for my audience. Okay. So Hasan, H3, everyone can get better. But I think it's important that I set the tone for what I want. Like, okay, a good example. And this is what I ask myself. Okay, the joke that Hasan made, let me just remind you, okay, for those of you who missed it, let me just remind you of the joke he made, and then I'll give you the absolute full context. But I just want to quickly give you an understanding of the short context we watched yesterday, okay?
At least Patrick Henry College is like doing one good thing, which is that like if you have these millionaire, billionaire, WASP fail sons, at least taking them out of other colleges so they can only do date to other billionaire, millionaire failed daughters is like, in some respects, you know, from a utilitarian perspective, of course, a little bit better. You know what I mean? Like,
okay, so it's like a joke, you know, if these horrible people are gonna grape people, let it be their own people. Ah, it's funny. I get it. It's like a joke. He's like making a tongue-in-cheek point. He's using irony. Like he's, you know, I get it. I understand. Whoa, we got it. I'll give you the full context after this. But I ask myself this question. Okay, I admire people like Dr. Kirkonda, Dr. K, Vervaeke. Would any of them make this joke and be taken seriously? Now, I understand Vervaeke's in his 60s, I believe. Dr. Kirkonda's in his 50s. Dr. K's in his 40s. I need it to be abundantly clear that my hope is that we're not going to continue this into our 40s. Now, I'm nearing 40. Hasan is at the beginning of his 30s. I believe he's 30. He might be 33. I don't know how old Hasan is. You guys can let me know. Okay. So I just want to say it again. Like, this is not the goal we want moving forward. Okay. Like, I really want to prepare. Now, I understand if you had asked me to do this 6 months ago, I would have been like, no, I would have made your mom jokes. Okay. I would have made a your mom joke. But Brittany, as of the last 72 hours, really woke up and I was like, okay, girl, we're doing something different. Okay. No Dr. K slander in the chat. Blocked. Dr. K slander in the chat. Blocked. Blocked. Okay. No Dr. K slander in the chat. You either bring me receipts or you're absolutely just racist or something or bigoted, because there's absolutely no receipts on Dr. K. So you either bring me those receipts or you do not slander him in the chat. Got it? Thank you. Same with Hasan. I am not going after Hasan for anything that people took him out of context for. I am not taking Hasan out of context. I am taking myself out of the context of streamer language. I am removing myself. I am not removing Hasan. I am removing him from my sphere, because if I keep listening to streamer language, I'm going to keep using it. Okay? Like, you know, you are who your friends are. And in this case, you are who you consume. So I want to make sure that I'm consuming things as an observer, but I'm not engaging in the behavior. My your mom jokes got way more intense when I joined like this adjacent sphere. And I just want to make sure that I'm not carrying that into my 40s. So again, once again, you can make these jokes yourself in private with your friends. I'm coming to work. Okay? I am coming to work. So that's why I'm making the change. You have every right to listen to Hasan. I'm sure he's lovely. And out of Hasan, Destiny, and Vosh, he's definitely the least problematic. But remember, they are together, the Three Stooges. All right. All right. Now, people were really concerned that I didn't have the full context. So the person who sent me the link for the full context was so sweet. They literally timestamped just the section where he goes, it's an edgy joke. I know it's an edgy joke. I'm talking about what I want to do moving forward, right? So here's the full context, and let's dissect it, because I think it's important, especially for new Hasan viewers in my audience who just don't know what I'm doing. I'm not doing whatever you think Hasan is doing. I'm not doing what Destiny's doing. I'm not playing Vosh. I'm in a completely different bubble. Okay, we overlap, but I am not doing what they are doing. They are playing a completely different game. People kept writing comments like, don't you want to win, Brittany? You know nothing about me. If I was going to win, I would have already won. I would have played the game you were playing and I would have been the best at it. I'm not playing the game you're playing. I'm playing a completely different game where it's not about winning. It is actually about dissecting and understanding the self. Okay, so I'm not playing some game you're playing. I don't know what game you're playing. I'm not playing it. And if I was playing it, okay, then we wouldn't have done this. Okay, we wouldn't have done this whole arc, this whole change. Okay, now, this is the context, okay? So one of the Hasan viewers sent this to me. Thank you for the link.
yes, I know. This is Squeaks running for president.
I think a lot of people.
At first, I thought he looked like Squeaks, but the more I see him, the more I realize he doesn't actually.
And this VOD is from a year ago, so things change.
Generally defined on genetically inherited characteristics like race, gender, and sexual orientation. Basically, it borrows from the tropes of Marxism, which was this oppressor-oppressed narrative. But wokeism was not just Marxism, it was the merger of Marxism with identity politics. The idea that you are nothing more and nothing less than the genetic stock that you inherit on the day you're born. So that's what you sort of refer to as the trend of modern wokeness.
Okay.
Now, this is a fringe philosophy.
Okay, hold on. Chat says don't turn into a newscaster, though. I just want to remind you, there is a balance between newscaster and rape joke. Okay? Hello? We can have a balance between, hello, everyone, welcome to stream. Today on stream, and a joke about assault. We can have a balance. The idea that not saying a grape joke is maybe being too clean for stream. Girls, please be serious, okay? Diddy is on the verge of getting out of jail right now because of the way they obtained documentation on him. Please be serious about grape culture. I shouldn't even be censoring my words. Please be serious about rape culture, okay? Either be serious about it or don't be serious about it, okay? If you're just watching stream for entertainment, we love this, okay? Yeah, and Andrew Tate, because of legality, because of paperwork, these men are about to get off. So you better be very ready for the fact that every time we joke, every time we platform, every time we make money, exposing and being a part of, not exposing and being a part of these bubbles. Okay, I'm just trying to be a little bit more serious about how serious things are about to get. And listen to me when I say this, from a philosophical view, this is no different than any time in history. It just looks different because it's our time. But humans are going to human no matter what time in history. And I'm just trying for the next 70 years I'm alive, clean up my act a little bit to make enough space for enough people to break some generational curses. Okay? That's what I'm trying to do. So when we're sitting here and we're talking about breaking those generational curses, you got to walk the walk. Okay? Again, you can tell your edgy jokes in private. You can be a comedian, but I didn't sign up to be a comedian.
This was a theory from the halls of academia. And it was a challenge to the system. It was an interesting set of ideas. Does it mean it was all coherent? No, not necessarily. But it was interesting. It was provocative. It was a different way of looking at human relations. It was an interesting worldview in some classroom in some liberal arts university somewhere. Mm-hmm. But wokeness at some point moved from being about being a challenge to the system.
He's like one of those. He's like one of those guys. He's one of those guys who's like, oh, wokeness was fine, when it was the civil rights movement. But now it's not fine because somehow it got out of control.
So to really understand the origin story of wokeism, you have to understand academia first. That's where it was born. It was born as an infant.
Okay, so I'm giving context to the fact that he's going to make the joke. It's just a few minutes. Okay, we're going to watch a few minutes. It's giving the context so everyone can say, Brittany, watch the context, but also it doesn't matter because, again, it's this stuff I'm trying to move away from. I'm also trying to move away from it. And it comes I love an edgy joke, guys. It's not about making an edgy joke. It's about the fact that we're at work. Okay?
Became an adolescent somewhere else, but let's start with the infancy.
Frankfurt School. Say the Jews did it.
At the end of the day, the rise of wokeism
Okay, edgy joke.
wasn't an overnight phenomenon. It's actually been in the works for years.
And by the way, I made an edgy joke on stream yesterday, and I was like, man, I did it on stream yesterday. I made an edgy joke on stream, and I was like, man, okay, I got to stop doing that. So I'm taking note of my behavior. This is about me changing who I am, not me asking Hasan to change. I don't need Hasan to change. I don't care what he does with his life. What matters is that I'm doing it. So even yesterday, I made an edgy joke, and I was like, Brittany, and now, when I was editing my clip yesterday, and I was like, ugh. And I was like, okay, so I have to remember that I have to catch myself doing it. But man, it's not that it's not funny, by the way. I think I'm so funny, but that's the problem. Is I am funny, but I'm trying to be more PG funny, more appropriate funny for work, and for a reason. Okay. If I wanted to be edgy, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to catch myself too.
So like many bad ideas, wokeism started in academia. But why? And why
are they not saying it's the Frankfurt School? We know that's what you want to say. Just say it, man.
didn't it stay in the ivory tower?
So that's the reference to the school he's going to make the joke about.
How did this cancer infect every other area of society? I needed to talk to somebody who understood academia and from a long-term, multifaceted.
And she's look, she's making her content. She's in her bubble. I don't watch her. She's conservative. I don't know if she's a grifter or not a grifter. All I know is that whatever she's doing, I think it's causing more harm than good because of the way that she attacks the marginalized. And of course, being that she's marginalized herself, it gives her more credit for her argumentation that, see, not all marginalized people feel this way, right? And it's fine. Like, it's her life. I'm not asking her to change. I'm just going to change, you know, right?
Faceted perspective. And so I traveled to Washington, D.C.
I love that, like, conservative commentary now straight up is just like, if you're educated, you're learning to be a homosexual Marxist and it's bad. Please stop getting educated. Do not read. Do not read. Stop reading. Stop going to school. It's bad.
I mean, kind of. There is the narrative from conservatives that like any form of education, unless it lands on their side, is indoctrination, which is sort of funny. Right? Chat says, aren't the people supporting the Hasan clip like Destiny supporting the Crowder clip? Like the context doesn't matter. The joke is inappropriate. Abuse is bad. Yeah, kind of. Like, obviously, yes. But the thing is like I'm trying to I'm trying to explain it to them mostly, right? Like I'm trying to explain it to them that like whatever you think you're doing here, we're not. You know, whatever you're doing, like, yes, we love an edgy joke. I'm not just debating that. I'm just saying that moving forward, we're going to try to get it out of our vocabulary, but also understand that it's hard. I told myself it will take 2 to 4 years for me to transition out of this vocabulary. That's crazy, but I know how long it is. I know how long it is. Or how hard it is to transition. I know how long it takes. I do. And so I'm not saying you have to be any particular way. It's not like, oh, Brittany's going to get old and like, you know, stop being nude on the internet, or she's going to dress more mature. Like, everybody relax. Okay. I don't think maturity has to do exactly with the fact that like old people shouldn't wear colors. Like, I don't know if you've heard that, like old people shouldn't wear lots of colors. Like I'm not talking about any of that. I think there's a way to be old, mature, and to be sort of cohesive within your values in a very like elevated way. We want to be elevated. That's what we're doing. Okay. We're elevating ourselves. We're saying, okay, this was fun in our 20s. This was fun in our early 30s. Let's move into a different direction. Even the way that I want to be nude on the internet is going to mature. It's going to change. It's going to grow. And I think that this is going to be hard for people because they just want the same stuff they've been given, but I can't do that. Okay. I can't do that. Right. Chat says I'm behind, but the audio is low for me compared to your audio, Brittany. The audio will be low because Hasan is so loud compared to the audio that he's playing, because we're watching a reaction video. So it's going to bust out people's ears. My OBS is peaking. So I'll try my best to like change the volume. I'll try to up it, but just like, let me know if it's peaking too hard in your guys' ears, you know? Okay. Let's see.
Bad for you. I promise it's not good. It's no good. School is no bueno. Don't do it. Don't fucking do it. Education is really bad. Really, really bad, actually. Please stop educating yourselves.
To talk to a visionary who did something many people consider to be impossible. He founded a new college that now rivals the Ivy League.
Okay, founded a new college, rivals the Ivy League.
This is Michael Ferris. He started Patrick Henry College, a classical liberal arts college just outside of Washington, D.C. In only 20 years of the college's existence, Patrick Henry graduates have become leaders in the highest halls of power, including Congress, Hollywood.
Also, keep this in mind too. You know, I grew up in a conservative bubble, and there are conservative colleges, and these people are networking, and these people are, you know, again, like it depends on what game you're playing. It depends on what you're doing, but there is a pipeline between Catholic, Christian, conservative colleges and sort of like politics. So, you know, if the left wants to play a different game or a similar game, you can do that. I'm not playing either of these games. When I become educated, I'm doing it for my own growth and for the growth of the people around me. I'm not trying to win some political game, right? I'm trying to aim for something a little bit bigger than myself, but understanding like I'm not going to change the world, girl. I'm just here to kind of make my life and other people around me better. Like I'm just trying to get the 6-foot radius around me a little bit better. Okay. I'm not here to try to change the world. But I think there's like this narrative. I keep getting feedback on my last video about Hasan where it's like, Brittany, don't you want Hasan to win? This is why the left loses. I'm not playing that political game. I'm a philosophy channel. A philosophy channel that's about the consciousness, not the philosophy channel that's about debate broing your politics using philosophy as a means to subjugate people because your language and rhetoric is better.
And the White House. And this sort of cultural impact was by design. Ferris has been fighting wokeism before it was even...
Fighting wokeism, very important stuff, very big on the priority list. Obviously silly, right? If you dissect it, fighting wokeism is just... It's just another boogeyman for the conservatives to fight against because they don't understand it.
This motherfucker, it's required you're stupid to believe this stuff. Yeah. This motherfucker literally went and made a liberal arts university, but like even more filled to the brim with like fucking nepotist fail children.
Now, hold on. Chat says as if edgy jokes win elections. I will say this. You could technically make an argument that Trump's edgy jokes won him the vote. Because as much as it upset people to hear the edgy jokes, it also made his base feel like they were in a group together, right? Like Tate did the same thing where Andrew Tate's edgy jokes made people feel like they were in on the joke. So people who are like, Hasan's making an edgy joke, Brittany, don't you get it? Yes, I get it. And I've done the same thing where my audience is like, Brittany's just making a joke. Wait, I get it. But is this the right way to move forward? Is he the right way to move forward? Not him, sorry. Is this the right way to move forward, right? I don't know if that makes sense to my brain, right? Honey says not to offend Brittany, but is Hasan the best illustration of this point? He is actively anti-misogyny, anti-racist. I think there's like this thing that happens, and tell me if like you tell me if this makes sense. It kind of feels like the way that I fell out with people that were associated with Destiny over the last week. When you asked me to call out, like in the past, people asked me to call out Sneako's behavior because I was collabing with him. And I would, but like I didn't push too hard on Sneako at all. Okay, I didn't. And they'd be like, push harder on him. He's misogynistic. And I was like, you're all misogynistic. If I get rid of one of them, I'm getting rid of all of them. And Hasan isn't exempt from that possibility. So unless he changes his behavior, I'm not engaging. Like, because again, I'm not in politics. I'm not here to work with the most people I can to move things forward. I'm here to make it clear that I'm focusing in on the group of people that are trying to really radically change their lives and trying to be very clear about their stances from an ethical perspective. Ethics wise, I don't think the edgy jokes have a place in professional or serious politics. But of course, Trump is not professional. Jesse Waters and Fox News, they're not professional. A lot of people in the world have become so unprofessional. Now, I don't blame them. A lot of internet culture has seeped into regular media, but Hasan isn't exempt from criticism just because he's doing less harm than everybody else. Right? Now, I think somebody that I actively promote and think is a really good person in this space who is a man is FD Signifier. I think FD Signifier encompasses all the things that I really, really admire in a person who's serious, right? He's able to keep up with what's happening with the youth. He's educated. He's very thoughtful about the way he speaks. He is trying to bridge gaps, but he's also trying to put down hard boundaries. He doesn't need to make edgy grape jokes, right, to make a point. So I think Hasan, with peace and love, just isn't mature enough or ready enough to be the person we can say is meant to be taken as seriously. Right? I think FD Signifier is a much better example of somebody who's very serious and very thoughtful and very well read. Like, I don't know how well read like Hasan is, right? Like, I don't know how well read anybody is, but as a person who's like pretty well read myself, I think that I'm looking for a little bit of a shift in tone. I'm looking for a tone shift. I'm not saying Hasan isn't doing great stuff. I'm not saying that Hasan hasn't been really helpful. I'm not saying that Hasan isn't doing the best he can do with the bubble he's in. I'm just saying that I think this bubble has a ceiling, a cap, and I think he's reached it. Does that sound better? I think Hasan has reached his cap of the good he can do in that bubble. And I think there's an illusion that he can do better, and I don't think he can. I think because of the way the expectation of behavior just at the medium, I think he can't do better. I genuinely don't. I don't think the space allows him to do better. I think he's trapped, and I don't want to get trapped with him. You know? Chet says, do you think Hasan should jump into another bubble to do more good? I think he could do so much more good if he did jump bubbles. But I don't know that he is ready. I don't think it makes sense for his career. It's hard to say because I don't want to speak for him. I don't know what his goals are. Right? Like, I don't know what his goals are. Chat says bubbles have caps. Oh, for sure. Why do you think I'm always changing bubbles? Why do you think I'm always changing my perspective? A bubble is a perspective, guys. Of course, there's a cap to your perspective. Like, of course, there's a cap to perspective. That's what a bubble is. So once I reach, that's why I'm always changing. Once I reach the cap of a bubble, I'm like, next, that's the point. It's like, I reached my cap. I reached it. Now I would like to go beyond. I would like to keep going. And I can't keep going if I keep staying in the bubble. That's why we're shifting, right? So let's shift the bubble so we can reach the next cap. But again, he's not obligated to because some people don't want to. You know? He doesn't have to. Chad says he was the third most watched streamer at election night. Everyone else was conservative. Hey, that's great. What does that have to do with what I'm saying? He's been profiled by CNN today. That's great. What does that have to do with what I'm saying? What do you think it has to do, right? With what I'm saying? Like, what do you think I am saying? What does any of that have to do? Congratulations to Hasan. I'm so glad he's successful. Chat says he's not reached his peak yet. I'm sorry, let me rephrase. Reached his peak in terms of progressive philosophy and values moving forward. Like, he can try to do more. He can try to do better. But it is one of those things where, like, politics is capped. So you can only do so much. Again, it depends on your goals. Okay? Hasan can do him. I'm going to do me. Right? Okay? Hasan can do him. I'm going to do me. But the idea that you think like we're doing the same thing is the problem. All his successes will never look like success to me if they don't move the needle forward in like a way that's specific, the way that I'm looking for to move it forward. Do you understand? It's just a different goal. Okay, let's get to the context of the joke.
Affirmative action for conservatives? Yeah, literally, dude. What the fuck? Hey, man, if you're rich, white, and conservative, we have affirmative action programs for you. Don't worry. Like we got.
Okay, no. Chat. Great clarifying question. I think it's fine for you to raise your level of discourse, but I don't see what that has to do with Hasan. Nothing. You're making it about Hasan. I am making it about me. That's what I'm trying to say. You guys are trying to come into my space, my audience, my bubble that I'm talking to, and you're saying, why are you talking about Hasan? I'm talking about me. I'm saying I'm not going to tolerate it. I'm not interested in engaging. You don't have to be on my stream right now. Your video kind of made it about Hasan. I'm the one who makes the videos, guys. If you're watching my video, you're watching me talk about myself, about other people. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't watch Hasan videos and think, oh, Hasan is making it about Trump. I watch Hasan videos to see his opinion on Trump. If you're watching my content, you should be watching my content to get Brittany's view on Hasan, not Hasan's views on Brittany. Like, that doesn't make any sense. So if you're watching my content, it's about me and how I relate to Hasan and his work. It's about the fact that other content creators are like, hey, like, okay, first of all, Chet says I don't recall her calling him a misogynist. All men are misogynists. All humans suffer from misogyny. He is a misogynist in the same way everybody is a misogynist, but he can deconstruct. Okay? Chet says, girl, you should definitely do a video about your approach. I know you repeat it over and over again, but I feel like people don't get it. No. This is content, girl. They're never going to get it. I made a 4-minute video on Hasan where I said everything and they still didn't get it. This is me now just doing what content creators do. Repeating the same thing over and over again because that's what content creators are. That's what anyone is who's a teacher. We repeat the same lesson for the new group of kids who come in every season. That's the point. They're not going to get it because they're not ready to get it. But when they do, they'll get it. And that's the point. Okay. My job is to repeat. Their job is to figure out how to dissect and learn. Right? Is everyone a misandrist at the same time? No, but lots of people do suffer from misandry. Right? So everyone being a misogynist is because of the fact that we grew up in a patriarchy. If we grew up in a matriarchy, then sure, people would by default probably be misandrist. But we grew up in a patriarchy, so everyone's by default a misogynist because it's the way the system's laid out. It's the way laws are laid out. It's the way education is laid out, right? So that's what that is. I'm not pointing fingers. I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying like everyone is who they are. Like everybody is just who they are. Chat says, I enjoy both your content. You should enjoy Hasan. Go enjoy him. Go love him. Go like him. Go enjoy, super chat him. Go love him. You know what I mean? Go love Hasan. I'm talking about me. I want you to learn who I am, where my values lie, how I'm different from these people, but also similar. We have overlap, right? Hasan and I have plenty of overlap. But at the end of the day, like if he's your favorite, that you can't even handle a little bit of criticism about him, girl, please. How are you any better than anybody else in this space? Now, I will say, Hasan viewers do seem better than Destiny viewers. None of the Hasan viewers talked about my looks or degraded me sexually or any of those things, but they did think it was hypocritical. They were mad that I was causing Hasan to lose. They were better though. Like Hasan viewers seem to be better, as like their hate comments are better in my videos than Destiny's. So props to Hasan, because I am going to give him the credit of like having that type of an audience. Right? So just like FYI. Now, it's not just the joke he made about the rape. It's his humor in general, the streamer language that I'm moving away from. The streamer vibe, not just Hasan, guys. This isn't about your favorite. This is using your favorite to make a larger point, but your bias and your prejudice is keeping you so unable to see it. That's what I'm saying. Pop your Hasan bubble and see him as just what he is, a human. Okay? He's just a person, bros. Okay? And then move forward. Okay? And then move forward. Chat says, did you expect your Destiny video to blow up? No, I expected it to go exactly the way it did. It got exactly the views I thought it would get and exactly the response I thought it would get. That's what I'm saying, guys. We have to move away from streamer language, because when I come out with a video about serious abuse, everybody ignores it because it's just streamer language. This is the issue with streamer language, is we don't know how to actually like Jesse Waters making a rape joke about Kamala Harris on Fox News should have been a fireable offense, and it wasn't. It wasn't a fireable offense. It should have been. You shouldn't be able to keep your job and make a rape joke about the vice president. Like, this is not what we want in our professional settings. Why does Jesse Waters still have a job? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is stemming from streamer language. This starts on YouTube. Streamer language is absolutely impacting our regular people in media. We need to grow up, and I need to start with myself. But Hasan isn't exempt, since he continually uses streamer language. Okay? Like, this isn't funny. It might be funny in a garage when you're holding beers with your buddies, but it's not funny when you're at work. Okay? So again, we're going to go for the context because you guys asked me to look for it, but you have to listen to what I'm saying. I'm not going after Hasan. I'm not trying to cancel Hasan, even though I did say canceled. See, even that's so immature. My partner said that. They were like, Brittany, you can't say canceled. You know what I mean? Because like, that's the joke. That's the stuff I have to stop saying. I have to be like, canceled. Like, I have to stop saying these things because it's serious. It's not, I'll redo the thumbnail. Okay? I'll redo the thumbnail. I can't just be going canceled. I have to be like serious. I don't like it. We're not doing it. We're not putting it into the future. I'll redo the thumbnail. Okay, well, so let's try to get through this context, bros.
Got this college.
Called wokeism. And more importantly, he's been winning.
And I dare anyone to read my legal analysis.
Through Patrick Henry College.
Dude, oh God, look at this Vox.com ass fucking editing there. Look at this.
And more importantly,
they put a thug hat and the thug life glasses on him. Look.
winning.
And I dare anyone to read my legal analysis.
Oh, dude, it's thug life, bro. This 76-year-old pervert is winning. He's thug life, dude. He fucking built a WASP academy.
I do like Hasan's laugh.
I dare you to read my legal analysis.
Hasan does have a great laugh. It's like a very contagious laugh.
That is the least thug life moment of all time. Okay? He literally did, actually, please read my legal analysis. And you're like, oh, fucking sick, dude. Fucking own. Get wrecked, libtards. This dude is like the first case of an adult that needs to be stuffed into a fucking locker, okay?
Hey. No, see? Okay, I changed the thumbnail. I changed it live on stream. You're welcome.
Through Patrick Henry College, Mike is taking the battle against woke.
Okay, bro. Honey, I appreciate that you're a member because you're a great example of what I'm trying to point out. You said I don't like every Hasan joke or every point, but he's not the best example of this complaint. He is the perfect example of the complaint. How dare you hold your favorite less accountable than people you hate? What is wrong with you? Nothing. You're a human, and humans are going to human, and this is your prejudice. This is your bias. What do you mean? Holding your favorite accountable is the best example. It's the best example because that's the point. Even people we love and admire, even people we think are great. I'm the best example. I'm the one holding myself accountable because I am the best example. Him. Hello. Okay. We have to update. And again, it's not about perfection. If you came into my audience thinking Brittany wants everyone to be perfect, no, I don't want you to be perfect. I want you to admit you're not perfect. I want you to admit that okay, like I just changed my thumbnail. I'm trying in real time to do it. I do not want you to be perfect. I do not want you to stop making edgy jokes. Okay? Fishy says, can you give us an example of edgy jokes you've made in the past that you regret? I mean, just yesterday on stream, I'll give an example. So again, I love me a joke. Yesterday on stream, one of the conservatives was saying, how is being trans not a mental illness if 40% of them are committing suicide? And I said, yes, I always thought being a man was a mental illness since all of them are so good at killing themselves. I said something like that, right? Because men commit suicide at pretty high rates, though women are catching up. Congratulations to us, I guess. See, as another edgy joke. It's like the jokes are funny, but I want to have a serious discussion about the context. Obviously, being trans isn't the problem and being a man isn't the problem, but it's the way society forms itself that pressures men into killing themselves, that pressures trans people into killing themselves. We need to change society so people, men, trans people, everybody stop killing themselves, right? Chet says, would you be willing to go over some inflammatory stuff you said and sort of walk it back? Oh, girl, what do we have all day? No, you guys know they exist on the internet. I'm doing it right now in real time with you. I'm not going to stop doing it. I don't have to go back. It's going to happen tomorrow. It's going to happen in this stream. Listen to me when I say this. I don't have to go back and look for my old stuff. There will be new stuff tomorrow, and 3 months from now, and 6 months from now. I'm already telling you what's going to happen. I don't have to go back. I'm going to make new jokes that I'm going to regret. I have to get this out of my vocabulary. It will be a very long time before I stop. Do you understand what I'm saying? Chat says, you did not say all men should kill themselves. Well, obviously I didn't say that. I was making a joke about how I know I didn't say that, guys. Okay. I know, but you know what I'm saying? I don't have to go back. I'm going to do it tomorrow. I'm going to do it today. Okay. Oh, we're so close to getting to the context of this clip. Hold on.
The source by educating new generations of students in a rigorous, truth-focused education. Where do you think wokeness started? What's your theory there?
Where I was seeing it mostly was in the schools of education. They were
At least Patrick Henry College is doing one good thing, which is that if you have these fucking millionaire, billionaire, WASP fail sons, at least taking them out of other colleges so they can only do date rape to other billionaire, millionaire failed daughters is in some respects, from a utilitarian perspective, of course, a little bit better. You know what I mean? Taking these guys
Here's a joke.
And putting them in a pen with one another is ultimately getting them away from the broader society. Think about it. It makes sense.
Okay, he's not
Don't they
talking.
feel dumb just saying wokeism all the time? No, they don't. They are dumb. They are very dumb.
teaching there is no truth. But what they meant is, we're going to undermine the objective truth that you believe in and pretend that all truth is relative. And we're going to follow that up eventually with our truth. And that.
So obviously the video he's watching, I just want to comment on, conservatives will always say, we're so afraid of relativism. We're so afraid that truth doesn't matter. You literally believe in a God, which I love for you, but just FYI, okay? When we're talking about what is true, your belief in a God has no academic backing nor evidence-based backing. It is a personal experience with you and something outside of yourself, right? Which is fine. But again, when we have larger conversations about what is real, I think that's why it's so hard to deconstruct, because when you start actually looking for evidence for your beliefs, you will not find as much as you think, which is what is so scary about life. You will not find as much as you think.
That idea is, now we're going to jam our truth down your throat and you better kneel.
Hold on. Chat says, Hasan, sarcasm sounds way too serious like mine. Sometimes we think we're assholes. You are assholes. You are assholes. I am an asshole. That's what I'm trying to make us understand. Me too. Right? Me too. I'm about to get this autism diagnosis. I'm telling you right now, it's not a reason to not be an asshole. You're still a fucking asshole. Listen to me when I say this. You're still an asshole. That's what I'm trying to say. Damn, I'm being an asshole and I'm trying really hard not to be that. So we have to work on it. But like, yes, whether it's your monotone sense of voice or people, you are being an asshole, right? And that's okay if that's what you're owning. But that's the problem is like, I know people don't understand my sarcasm. I get really upset when people don't, like, obviously I'm saying a joke, right? Why don't you get it? The thing is one, bad faith people will never get it. But two, even if it's a joke, and I believe it's a joke, I believe Hasan is making a joke. I'm saying I don't want to make any of these jokes moving forward. But I will, and I want you to call me out, and I'll call myself out, and we'll find the line of that balance, right? We'll find the line of the balance because I'm not asking for perfection. I'm not saying don't say these jokes outside of work. I'm saying if we're coming to work, be serious. And streamers are coming to work. Not all streamers. Me. And I'm not a comedian. Remember, I'm not a comedian. I'm coming to work. Okay? But you don't have to do this. The world doesn't have to do it. Hasan doesn't have to do it. Okay? Chat says, I don't think this is wholly discrediting him. He's got untold hours of streaming content and these moments happen. Why do they happen? Why do they happen? I'm saying they shouldn't be happening. We should get to the point where they don't happen. And I am not trying to discredit him. I'm saying, why do they happen with streamers so often? Chat says, aren't streamers traditionally unserious people? Yes. And I'm saying, I'm over it. I'm saying, if you want to be taken seriously, be serious. If you don't want to be taken seriously, be fun. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying there shouldn't even be clips of me on the internet. Like, I shouldn't even be saying it. Okay, do you guys remember as kids, did any of you guys grow up like in a religious bubble and then you left and became an atheist? Do you remember going to church, or like, do you go home now and you don't say fuck in front of your parents? Like, I try not to say fuck in front of my mom and dad, but it's really hard to go back into my parents' home and not say fuck since I say it all the time in my real life. But when I go home to my parents, I try to remember not to say it. And I do pretty good at not saying it, but sometimes it slips out. I'm like, sorry, fuck, sorry. Oh, God, fuck. It's been a long time. Okay. Same thing with streamers in particular bubbles. It's like, I want to come to work and remember not to say fuck. Now, that's also something I'm going to work on. Because in the future, especially with YouTube changing stuff, saying fuck is getting you demonetized. It's not helping you. And though it feels relatable, it also isn't professional. So I want to move in a direction of being more appropriate because I want to be 10% more serious. Okay? So again, like, this is what I want to do. You don't have to do it. And I'm not going to be perfect at it. Like I said, you're going to find a clippable moment of me in 3 months from now. I just want to, over the next 4 years, work to get it out of my vocabulary. Okay? I want to work to get it out of my vocabulary. But we are not, the world isn't owed our authenticity or vulnerabilities, right? But more than that, I want to come to work for real. So it will take me like literally years to work on this, which is why I'm having the conversation with you now. Because again, it's hard. And if you guys want to go on the journey with me, then I want you to start with me. But it's hard. It's hard. Chad says, I guess this is just a matter of personal taste. Hasan's humor style is sort of his trademark. If you prefer more inoffensive content, he's not your guy. You know what? People feel the same way about Trump. And if you think it's cute that Trump is making fun of rape victims, and you think it's funny when he makes fun of handicapped people, and you think it's funny that he does that, then sure. It's just his brand of humor, I guess. That's what you're saying. And if that's what you're saying, hey, fair. I'm saying I don't like it. If you want to be taken seriously, let's be serious. Okay? If you don't want to be taken seriously, be Trump. And then win elections. Just because he's president doesn't mean he's serious. Okay? Chad says that's a ridiculous comparison. I think you're losing the point. Like, you're not getting my point then. Because right now, America is in a decline. Society's in a decline because we literally have gotten to the point where even our president can be unprofessional and still get elected. This is not, for all its faults, the America I grew up in. Okay? It is the point. If Hasan wants to be serious, then he needs to be serious. If he doesn't want to be serious, he can be a comedian. Okay? Which I love. Okay? So everyone can do it their own way, but I'm going to be very clear. Okay. I'm trying not to do that anymore, but I'm not going to be perfect at it. Again, nobody wants perfection. Who wants that? It's not real. The philosopher Beyonce said perfection is a disease of a nation. And I believe that. So you're never going to see me advocate, right? Kay says people really can't understand comparing concepts to comparing things. Bro, they lose it, bro. It is because you guys are not reading. You didn't go to school. Something is missing in your toolbox. Did you guys stop learning how to compare things? How to put things in categories? Like, I don't understand why people on the internet forget how to do comparisons. You know what I mean? It's just so strange. Chat says Destiny is the same, but 1,000 times worse. But I do take your point 100%. 100%. Destiny's so much worse. Destiny is so much worse, which is why he's not as big as Hasan. The reason Hasan is as big as he is because he's actually not as bad as Vosh or Hasan or Destiny. Hasan is literally the best of them. Now, how great would it be if he could be bigger? Hasan often says he wants to be bigger. How great if he could do that without becoming as bad as them. Right? Right? Hasan gets roped in with Destiny and Vosh for a reason. They are the Three Stooges for a reason. I wish Hasan would leave it all behind and grow out of it. Okay? We're almost here. We're almost done with this clip.
He's a generation that's told at the university that nobody can disagree with.
Okay, chat, you said, what did Vosh do? I'm going to block you. You're blocked. Don't ask that question. Don't ask stupid questions. I'm sorry. No. What did Vosh do? I'm sorry. Have you been living in a cave? What do you mean, what did Vosh do? Blocked. I swear you're a troll. I always thought this person was a troll. What did Vosh do? Blocked.
You take that attitude to campus.
No, that's a really bad take. Damn. Wait, what? What's a really bad take?
No. Chat says Hasan should really consider going professional like his uncle, just in his own way. Cenk is not a professional. Have you seen Cenk on Piers Morgan? If you go on Piers Morgan, you are not a professional. Cenk goes on Piers Morgan and throws a tantrum. I said I want an adult in the room. It's not Cenk. He's not being the adult in the room. He's screaming on Piers Morgan. Stop going on Piers Morgan. No, okay? No, nobody throwing, I don't want anyone throwing tantrums. Stop throwing tantrums. Be the adult in the room, the real adult. Okay? Cenk is not an adult. He goes on Piers Morgan and yells at people. Please.
Brother, you think it's funny when I talk about the Florida policy, but when I fucking hammer it in for just a university, for a liberal arts college, you get mad? I'm not saying it's not going to fucking, we need to start to bully people for being right-wing weirdos instead of bullying them for being a minority. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? No, you don't like it because it's an edgy joke. Okay? But if you investigate...
You don't like it because it's an edgy joke. Okay?
The bearings of the joke itself, you will fucking understand it. I'm not stating that it's a good thing that date rape is happening. I'm saying that date rape from these people are inevitable, so at least it's contained to others from the same fucking stock. That's the joke itself. I know that you can't comprehend it. I'm not saying it's good that it's happening. Let's have more of it. So shut the fuck up, you dense ass motherfuckers. Oh my God, I hate literally being a leftist so fucking much.
And his chat is calling him out, by the way. Not a good joke. Not a good joke. You know, his chat is calling him out.
Oh my Lord, dude. There's a reason why we don't do you laugh, you lose anymore. We will never be able to do it. God, I just fucking hate it. And now for the next 35 minutes to possibly 3 hours, there's always going to be people that keep coming back to it and be like, remember 3 hours ago when you said that? That was really fucked up. Jokes about rape are never okay. Got it, man. You're right. You're so fucking morally righteous. This is not a joke about rape, okay? Just because there's a rape mention in it doesn't mean that it's like trivializing rape.
And that's rape culture. No, it is though. So here's my theory. If you study rape culture and how it works, you integrate rape humor into normal vernacular, which then mitigates its sort of impact and harm. We've gotten to the point right now where rape is such a non-issue for people that when you say you've been raped, they go, oh, that sucks. Sorry about that. When you tell people you've been raped, they're like, but what did you do? Like, rape has become so diluted because of the way that we actually do integrate it into our sort of normal way of speaking, right? And so I just want to remind people that you can keep doing what you're going to do, but I see too much harm being done now. I think it is causing too much harm. I see this after the last 4 years. Tate's rise to fame for me, really put into perspective how normalizing this language does dilute it. So when then you talk about it, it becomes inconsequential to people, like inconsequential. So people then don't think about so I understand it's a joke. I know what he's trying to say. I've made similar like quips on the stream. I get it. I don't think it's helping. And I know this is a year old, so obviously there could be an update to it, right? Like I love that. But this isn't just the problem, right? There's going to be updated language, issues with back and forth. The fact that Hasan is talking about suing Destiny and Destiny's talking about suing him. Grow up. Stop hurting people and grow up. You know, but it starts with me. I'm the same as them. I'm in the same bubble and I am trying to escape this bubble and I want to bring you with me. I want to pop the bubble and I want you to pop it too if you want to. You don't have to. It doesn't matter. I'm going to do it anyways. Okay? You don't have to do it. Okay? Hasan has never mentioned suing Destiny. Okay, I literally just watched his stream the other day where he was like talking about suing somebody unnamed who obviously, from my perspective, was Destiny. If you're disagreeing with that, fine. But I think that's a ridiculous statement. Like, I do have, like, okay, like, I do watch the videos. Like, I was subscribed to Hasan. I was watching his uploads. I was watching his stream. That's how I knew he talked about me, because I was watching his stream live. So again, like, with peace and love, like, it's not that I want Hasan to be scared of talking about Destiny the same way I don't want to be scared of it. But I just want to make sure you understand, like, there are ways to recontextualize things and move forward, but it's really difficult, right? He was talking about Bad Empanada threatening to sue Ethan. Yeah, also Bad Empanada. Not a great person. I don't want to be involved with that person, right? Like, you guys asked me to watch him on stream. I don't like him. Not worth it. Like, I think his content isn't worth it. Okay? All of those people, not worth engaging with. But you can do you, right? Right? Like, you can do you. You can do you. If you want to engage. I'm telling you, it's not good. Now, for those of you saying, can you give us examples of people you like? John Vervaeke, Dr. Kirk Honda. Like, think about people who are serious about their industry, serious about their education, serious about people. And then think about, like, would they act this way? Think about the person in your bubble who's like the adult in the room, who's the actual adult in the room in this context, who, when pushed, when in opportunities like this, don't go to streamer language, but instead rise above it, right? Like, think about that. FD Signifier is another good one. I really like FD Signifier. Okay. FD Signifier, Vervaeke, Dr. Kirk Honda. Like, think about people who, when given an opportunity to engage, they take the higher road or do something better, or like move within their values at least. Okay. So again, I think what's happening is, like, maybe I just watch more podcasts. I'm reading more books. Like, there are really serious thinkers out there in the world that are having very serious conversations about life. And it's not happening on a Hasan stream. No, not Cat Black. No, I love Cat. I really love Cat, but she's in the same bubble as the rest of us. Young and making a lot of content on video. I love Cat. I love Cat, but she's not the adult in the room right now. Okay. Like, that's not what I'm looking for, which I understand, because, like, she's our age, right? Natalie Wynn, absolutely fucking not. Natalie Wynn, please grow up. No, not the alcoholic video essayist, guys. We're not talking about the people that are suffering from their own trauma and pushing it on stream. Like, no, not the streamers who literally, guys. Are the adults in the room the alcoholic video streamers? Like, please. Oh my God, you guys are cracking me up. Okay, Sean Hannity, now I know you're trolling me. You're trolling me. Stop. Stop it right now. Oh, that's so funny. Guys, please. It's not me. I'm not the adult in the room. Okay, I just want to make it clear. I'm not the adult in the room. JK Rowling. Okay, now I'm going to spank all of you. Chapel Roan, stop it. Stop it. Okay, now you know the joke. See, now I know we're on the same page. Okay, now I know. We know. Okay. Kay says all those people you said make jokes as well and are funny, but they don't make edgy jokes. Exactly. People can make jokes. You can make a joke and still be the adult in the room. Okay, the thought spot. No, the thought spot is we're all babies, guys. We're the babies in the room. We're the babies, guys. Nobody in my age group is gonna be the adult in the room. Let me just say it. If you're under 40, you're not the adult in the room. Okay, you're automatically disqualified from being the adult in the room. Okay, we're not there yet. We're not ready yet. We're not there yet. Okay, but we're gonna get there. The thought spot is amazing. She's going to be fabulous when she's in her 40s. She's in her 20s. Give this girl a second to grow up. Oh my God. I'm in my mid 30s. Give me a second to grow up. Give Hasan a second. Give Natalie a second. Give everybody a second. Ethan is hitting his 40s. Is he 40 already? He's 39, I think. Okay. Do you know you have 30 minutes? Do you guys know that meme? Do you know you have 30 minutes? Like, Ethan better hurry it up. And some people will hit their 40s and they won't get better. And it is what it is. That's why I unsubscribed from H3 and everything. I'm over it. I'm over giving them like attention, except on stream when it's necessary to dissect and deconstruct. Lakara, welcome to memberships. Okay. I think you guys get what I'm saying. I can tell because you guys are making the right kind of jokes for me to feel like you get what I'm saying. Okay, let's finish this out. We're like basically at that point.
Shut the fuck up, okay? That is a you problem.
Whoa.
That you cannot comprehend what the joke intends to argue for, okay? I'm saying those are the guys who are most likely to do date rape. That was the joke itself.
So the joke is these guys are more likely to do date rape. I don't know if that's true, but I would say that I just want to move away from this myself, right? But okay, yeah, we get it. We get it, bro.
Fuck!
Every time I unmute it, I'm sorry.
You think that's the way the whole world should be like, and that's what you believe. That's the way you were trained.
I think that's it. Hold on.
You will not be a friend of truth. You will not be a friend of freedom. You're going to be a friend of repressing anybody who doesn't follow the party line. The tyranny that's in place today believes that the heart, soul, and mind of man belongs to government.
I think that's it.
Mantra has been taken up by an impulse. The coming.
No, definitely. Except for like when the photos that you were pointing to.
Okay, yeah, that's it. Okay. So we get it, right? We get it. We all got it. Okay, I got it when I reacted to it on stream yesterday. Like, I got it. So people who are Hasan fans, I hear you. I get it. It's a joke. Okay, my point still stands. My point still stands. It is going to take time to change and be a different person, right? Chat says, so which streamers do you align with the most despite their edgy conduct? Actual streamers, like people who actually stream? Nobody? I don't watch streamers like that. Who do I watch who's a streamer, guys? We don't watch streamers like that. Who's a streamer? Like an actual streamer or like a content creator? So which streamers do you agree align the most with despite their edgy conduct? Fishy says, how do you feel about Asmin's maturity? Oh, I unsubscribed from Asmin too. He's out. Bye, Asmin. Asmin's out. Yeah. No, Asmin's out. His maturity level is like same. We're all degenerate. Okay, degenerate. You know, degenerate. Next, name names. Give me names. I'll tell you if they're degenerate. Degenerate. Next, everyone's out. Okay, I'm going to kick myself out too. That's what I'm doing. I'm banning myself. You know, Trevi says, are we still going to be collabing with the girls? As of right now, everyone should be good there. The panel is happening on the 30th. We have a panel coming up. So as of right now, everyone should be good. If for some reason our values don't align or there's some like, I don't know, one of them becomes a Nazi, like, okay, we'll cancel the panel. But as of right now, everyone should be on the same page in terms of general values, you know? I don't know who Mooncat is. And if I do, then I don't know that name enough to remember. Do you know of any streamer named Kirsch? She's pretty anti-woke. I don't know. That doesn't sound familiar. iDubbbz. I don't watch iDubbbz. Pay Money Wobbly. I don't know who that is. Yeah, I don't think I know who any of these people are, guys. I'm gonna be real. You know? Connor Eats Plants. I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. Rhett and Link. I do love Rhett and Link, but you know, they don't have to be the adults in the room because they're a variety, fun entertainment channel. right? Kyle Kalinske, I fell off. Okay, Dave. Okay, Kyle Kalinske, I fell off his content because I just felt like it wasn't doing what I wanted it to do. Dave, who's this guy? This one. Dave. Who's the guy who's always complaining that all his memberships are leaving him because he's afraid Trump will get elected? He always uses fear, which annoys me. Who is that? I don't remember now. Pacman, David Pacman. Thank you. Shit. David Pacman, I want to respect and love him, but he's too fearful for me. He's just always paranoid. I don't like paranoia. I don't like fear. Okay? So I really struggle with that, right? Guys, Bill Nye the Science Guy, please be serious. Are we having a serious conversation right now? Like, be serious. He literally is on purpose, not the adult in the room, so he can appeal to children. Trisha Paytas, Jess, fired, blocked. Look, unsolicited advice. Guys, they're not, how do I say this? You're naming people in their 20s. Like, you're naming people who are like babies. Like, you're naming people who are under 40. Gabby Hanna, exactly. Gabby Hanna, great example. Come on, guys. What happened with Kyle? He still feels consistent? No. Super consistent. They're stagnant. They reach the ceiling. David Pacman, Kyle Kalinske, like they reach the ceiling. They reach the cap of their bubble. They're not going beyond it. They're not moving forward, right? Like I'm looking like this is fine. There's nothing wrong with them. They're not bad people. I just want to make it clear. They're not bad people. They just reach the cap of their ceiling and like there's nothing to learn anymore. There's nothing to learn, right? So like, that's it. Sam Harris, there's nothing to learn from him. He's capped. If you know everything, okay, if you've read their books, if you seen their lectures, there's a cap, right? Nova membership for 6 months says, does this mean more philosophy and podcasts? What does your content look like from here on? Same content, guys. A little bit better, like a little bit more digestible, a little bit better, getting to the next level. Same content, next level. Right? Same content, next level. We're going to do the same thing we've been doing, dissecting, observing, next level. Okay? We're just going to go to the next level. Right? Miss Fishy, thank you so much for the super chat. We're just going to go to the next level. That's all we're doing. Okay? So I'm going to pull you guys with me. I want you to come with me. But we're aiming just to go to the next. Like, I don't want to stay stagnant here. I don't want you to stay stagnant either. Let's go on to the next one. Right? Silver says, I can't tell if Chad is being serious or just wants to hear Brittany's reactions. Oh, they're here for the reaction. Yes, Ben Shapiro, the most enlightened of us all, really. Sarcasm, hashtag sarcasm. No, they're memeing. The chat is memeing. See, I understand social context, right? Okay, so let's go to the next level. Now, are we done? Did we do it? Okay. I'm going to clip this, put it up on the thing. You guys can watch it or not watch it. You guys can tell it people are not. But listen, when I read about myself, which I never do, by the way, but I've been reading about myself on Reddit and people keep associating me with like other people's beliefs. I just want to make it clear, like we are not playing the same game. And I want to make it clear by like actually providing that context for you. And I've been feeling it out and enjoying my space and enjoying like my language and my mom jokes. And that's been fun. But I think I'm kind of over it. I think I'm kind of over it myself. And I hope you can get over it as well so we can move forward, right? Nova with the super chat. Thank you so much. Level 6, here we come. /joke. Let's go. I try to be consistent. I try to understand what people are seeing and feeling. Some people are never going to be happy. Some people are never going to get it. You don't have to. Right? Like, you don't have to. But like, I think, how do I say this? I think as good as it feels to see your favorite make a quip, a joke, a jab at somebody you hate, I think it's not long-term healthy. And I think I want to be long-term healthy. And I think that that's much harder because, man, it feels really good to be in the moment, Actually, maybe this relates to you, maybe it doesn't. Even in my own marriage, my partner and I are very smart, like quick-witted in that sense. Like we're very good at like, and so we have a rule of 1, no competing because we both will win and that's not good for a marriage. And 2, we try not to make mean jokes because it's very easy. And it's like, oh, that gamer language, the streamer language, like we don't point it at each other because it's mean. You know, it's mean. And so again, you might not understand this because it might sound like I love joking with my partner. No, my partner and I joke. But those jokes, they're mean. Like the ones that I'm talking about, the actual jokes that I'm saying we're not going to say anymore, they're not cute and fun and like sweet. They're bad. But because they're cruel, they're mean, they're like, they actually want to hurt you. And I don't want to hurt you. Okay? I don't want to hurt you. Right? Lily says, do situations like this frustrate you? No, they inspire me. I think this is exactly what I love about people. Because I know when I cut off a significant amount of people, they all group together and act like I'm crazy for ending the relationship. No, I think it reinforces in me that I'm making the right decision. You know, what do you mean by mean? Degrading, cruel, you know, cruel. I love an edgy joke, but I just want to make sure like we're not being cruel or bitter or mean spirited about it. Like when Trump got, you know, shot at, an assassination attempt, the eagerness for people to make a joke about the bullet missing. I think, you know, I get it. It came to your head. I think if it's probably coming from a really bitter place. Right? And I understand because you're angry, you're upset, you think it's justified. That's fine. I want to move myself away from having that inclination, from even thinking about it, because like that's not the type of person I want to be personally. You can do it. You can feel like it's, you know, within reason. I want to move myself away from it personally. I just want to, like, you know me, live by example, walk the walk, talk the talk. So I just want to move away from it. You don't have to do it. Okay? Like, hear me again. You don't have to do this. I'm just letting you know that I'm doing it. Okay? Chet says, I tend to code switch and make jokes like that in some groups and in others I don't. I've been hurt by these jokes in the past though, so I get it. Well, you know, on the Discord, we're pretty edgy, but I think on the Discord, it's a very like isolated space. We basically get to know each other. And so I think we know where the joke is coming from. But even moving in the future for the Discord, I want to make it really clear, like, be aware that this is a somewhat professional space in a sense, that, you know, it is a public space in a sense, that you should be cautious about what you're putting on the internet. But more than that, you know, in small circles, it's one thing to make a joke within context where everybody knows it's coming from a safe space, and then doing it in a space where you don't know who's seeing it or hearing it. Like, I will never speak perfectly to every community. I will never use language that's universal. I will never be able to meet everybody where they're at, and not everybody will be able to meet me where I'm at, but I can only do one thing at a time to change the way that I speak, to sort of bring other people. Like, look, guys, how great would it be if I could get into the right circles to collab with people that are a little bit more serious about the topics they're discussing, right? I mean, look how Hasan kind of like wrote me off as an orbiter over the Destiny thing, because my reputation is attached to Destiny, which sucks. Like, that sucks. But actually, like, I can't fault him for that, because, you know, maybe that's a good assumption for him to make. Like, Brittany's just another orbiter of Destinies, even though that's not true. Maybe that's a good way to like frame what he thinks he's seeing. Why would he trust me and my opinion of Destiny if he doesn't know me and he only's been told by his chat that I'm an orbiter, even though that's not true? Any more than Hasan was an orbiter, or anyone who's ever collabed with him could be. And I think what's important is that I need to have a better reputation in public. So when people see me, they're like, oh, who is this girl? Who are her friends? Who does she know? Who's her networking circle? And it's the right people that I want to be associated with, right? I think that's what's important, is that I can get that feedback and be like, I don't blame him for thinking that about me, but I do blame myself for putting myself in that position. And I put myself in that position, and I want to make sure that I change it. So this is me making an attempt to change it. Okay. Now, this is not me saying that even Hasan would be a good collaboration partner, because the irony is, well, maybe collabing with Hasan would be better. I don't think for the people that I hope to reach in the future, Hasan would also be any good for my reputation. Sorry. The people that I'm looking for, the people that I'm interested in, they also wouldn't be impressed by an association with Hasan. He's just not serious enough. And I think that's what's really hard to accept. Is like, as much as it sounds like he could be a good collaborator, same thing with Ethan. Oh my God, when Ethan saw Dr. Kirk Honda's video and wanted to reach out to him, I was like, oh no, run away, Dr. Kirk. Ethan is not a safe person to collab with. These people are not safe. These people are playing a very different game in a very volatile, is that the word? Volatile bubble. And it's like, you have to walk on eggshells, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it with any of them. Right? So we're not going to do it. Okay. So moving forward, I'm going to focus in on communities that mostly overline with my own values, that are LGBT focused, deconstruction focused, that want to pay attention to the nuances of existing, that are willing to see themselves outside of how people see them and within the context of being seen by the world. Right? Like, I want to make sure that I'm just living within my values. That's all I'm trying to do. You can continue watching these streamers, enjoy their content. I'm sure I'll catch a video on occasion. I'm sure we'll cover it on stream. But they're not going to be people that I am going to aspire to be associated with. Okay? And I think that that falls on me. I'm responsible for that. So I'm just trying to take responsibility for it. Does that make sense? Right? Lily says, I saw your video about Destiny trying to blast you about your STI, and I was curious about how that conversation went with your wife when you told him. If you're comfortable answering, I will make a pod about it. Because yeah, like, I'm not, I don't appreciate, I knew Destiny would go low. I knew he would go low, right? That's what abusers do. When you try to call them out, they go low. But yeah, I'll have a pod on it. Finding love with an STI. Ooh, is that a good podcast title? Because let me tell you how many people think that, like, oh my God, you're so unlovable because you have an STI. Not true, but nice try. And I get it, right? Like, I get it. It's a stigma. There is a stigma. And there's also misogyny that plays into that stigma, because what else did Destiny try to attack me for? My body count. No way she only has like 10 partners. No way she doesn't have like 30 partners. See the misogyny? See the sex negativity? You see it? Do you see it? That's the problem. And I want to deconstruct all of these stigmas. They're not rooted in reality. They are rooted in your bias and prejudice. Nova with the super chat, thank you so much, says, honestly though, this change is a lot for people, but as somebody who has grown so much more healthy from learning to let go of so many things recently, I love this a lot. Let the past die. Exactly, girl. Let's move forward, please. Let's move forward. We have got to move forward. I 100% agree. It is hard. It is a change. That's why I'm telling you now, because I suck at transitions, and I know a lot of my neurodivergent people do too. It's going to feel like a lot of change. So let's deconstruct. Let's move through things. Let's take it apart. Let's do it. Let's do it, girls. But I'm telling you now because I know how hard it is. And I would love for you to come along with me. I think it would be great. And it will take time. So in 3 months from now, when I make a really inappropriate, edgy joke, be ready for me to be like, Brittany, no. Why? I do think I'm funny. You know what I mean? I do make myself laugh. And the edgier it is, the edgier I think I am. I think I'm so funny. But I certainly don't think I'm very professional. I don't consider myself very professional. And man, I think I'd really like to be. But damn, I'm funny, no, thank you. Chess says, you are funny. Thank you. I do think I'm funny. But yeah, I don't really think I'm that professional. All right. Here's to the future, and here's to meeting some goals, Stuck
in my head, in real life while I'm in bed, my belly's being fed, and I'm okay. I'm just fine, yet all I do is whine, not to you in my mind, 'cause I know I don't make sense. I've been nothing but blessed, so why's my life a mess? Please tell me, 'cause I'm sick of thinking, yeah, I'm sick of reaching out for the truth and living life as a fool.